What's up, people? Of course here, coming at you with another Rogue Company video. Today, we're going to be taking a look at two rogues, Lancer and Ronin, and we're going to decide which one of these rogues will win in a 1v1 fight. So just to clear it up, this is not a 4v4, a typical type of game, right? This is each one of these ladies is dropped on a random map in a random location. They have to find each other, and the first person to take the other one out wins. So we're going to get into some analysis, look at their weapons, look at their abilities, look at their gadgets, and we're going to decide who will win. Make sure to put your thoughts in the comments now, and let's go ahead and jump right into it. So looking at their abilities, we have Ronin here with the ballistic knife, and we have a Lancer with the quick and quiet ability. We'll look at their passives next, but I feel like we should focus on these primary ones first. So ballistic knife has some good advantages to it, right? Ballistic knife is basically like a grenade. You throw it at somebody, it hits them directly, 125 damage. It can take out pretty much anybody one tap if they're not running tenacity. So you can also put this on the ground, you can put it on walls. It's good for zoning people, good for catching people who are trying to rush. So it has a lot of versatility in that sense. Whereas quick and quiet allows you to move faster and allow you to move pretty much silently even while you're sprinting, right? So this one does also have some pretty good advantages, obviously more so in a team-based game where there's multiple people on the map as opposed to trying to find one person, but still has its benefits. Now let's go ahead and take a look at their passives here, which we have Underground for Ronin, and for Lancer we have Elusive. Now to speak to these real quick, Underground obviously has its benefits when you're playing against people like Talon or Dallas, people who can track you on the map, right? Or anybody even has the sensor grenade. But in this fight particularly, Lancer doesn't have any ability to actually locate people, so it's not going to be very useful against Lancer because he couldn't find you anyway. Now, whereas Lancer has Elusive, which basically whenever she dodge rolls, she's able to reload her clip. So if we're talking about which one of these is more useful in a 1v1 fight, obviously Elusive is going to be hands down the better one, simply because you can actually use Elusive in this fight where Underground has no real place here. So based off their abilities right now, I'm probably going to have to say pound for pound, Lancer's probably going to win a point for abilities against Ronin. So the next thing here is going to be their actual loadout. So we're going to lump the secondaries, the primaries, and the melee weapons into this and see who would win a fight based on that alone. So now as we look here, Ronin has the KA-30, the SLC, and the Spitfire. Lancer has the 24S, the Striker 8x10, and then the Spitfire as well. And as far as throwing weapons goes, or melees, they have a katana and a throwing axe. Now let's go ahead and talk about the SMGs real quick. Both of these SMGs are very good. Now, thing to note, Ronin's SMG is the fastest SMG in the game. I think it's sitting at 15, right? So the fire rate is really high. The body damage is only 12 though. So that is the trade-off, but it shoots so much faster than any other SMG or any other gun in the game for that matter, that reduced damage doesn't really, you don't really see it all that much. Like this is also the SMG that Scorch has, by the way. So that with overheat is just so disgusting. Now Lancer's gun is still pretty good, 15 body damage, but it only has a fire rate of 11.36, right? So their range is very similar actually. Magazine size is very similar. All that stuff is pretty much on par. With that being said, the clear winner here as far as SMGs go in a fair fight, just straight up, is going to be Ronin. The SLC is just an overall better SMG than the 24S. Just plain and simple, just stat wise, it's a better weapon. Now if we look up at the KA-30 and then the Striker 8x10, now these are their other weapons here. Now this is interesting because the Striker 8x10 did get a buff, but in my opinion I still feel like the auto shotguns are still lacking in actual damage, lacking in actual time to kill when you compare that to any of the ARs or SMGs in the game. The one benefit they do have against other shotguns like the Arbitrator or the Skull 6 is that if the person mixes with those, then you do have a chance to punish them because your gun has such a high fire rate, for a shotgun at least. But assuming that people are hitting their shots, right? You're not playing against potatoes. The Striker 8x10 is going to lose most fights unless somehow you are able to sneak up or get the flank on them. So That's why I'm gonna put this gun beneath the KA-30. The KA-30, while it's not the best gun in the game, it is a very high tier weapon, a very consistent weapon. It deals great damage. You can actually hit people from range and still keep that damage, especially if you get it up to tier 3. So all in all, the KA-30 is probably gonna devastate Lancer, regardless of which one of those guns she uses, and the SLC is still the best SMG in that close range. The SLC definitely out damages the Striker 8x10. Just the DPS there, I don't think there's any competition to it, honestly. Now looking at their secondaries here, they both have the Spitfire, so there's no real competition here, right? It's going to be whoever can get the jump on the other person that's going to win that fight, because same gun. Same thing with the melee weapon here. Katana and throwing gas, there's no difference between the two except how they look. So basically whoever gets to throw off, whoever gets, you know, in close and get those melees in, I suppose it's going to be the winner in that engagement. But just based off the gunplay right now and which guns I think are stronger overall, I'm going to give this point to Ronin. Now, looking at the gadgets here, I think I'm going to end up calling this one a wash because they are so similar. They both have the smoke grenade, and realistically, how often are people using the smoke grenade? Maybe like in a coordinated team, I can see using it a little bit more, but even with the buff, the smoke grenade is still a little lackluster. Now, the grenade and the Semtex grenade are both pretty good. There might be a slight advantage for using a grenade, right? Because of the ability to cook and the ability to like bounce it off walls. But I think all in all, to not be biased, I think I'm going to go ahead and give this one a wash, because the Semtex grenade is also pretty dang good, right? It can stick on the walls, you can stick on the people. So I'm going to go ahead and call this one a wash. I would say based off gadget, nobody really has a huge advantage over the other. So we're gonna make this go down to the perks that each of these ladies has, and that'll decide who will probably win this 1v1. So let's go ahead and jump into the perks. So looking at the perks for each of these ladies, starting with Ronin, she has Berserker, Evade, Tenacity, Nimble Hands, Replenish, and Sixth Sense. Whereas Lancer has Padded Step, Shredder Rounds, Stalker, Helping Hand, Tracker Rounds, and Life Drain. So let's just go ahead and knock out some of the perks that won't be useful at all. So as far as Ronin goes, Replenish will not be any use here, because once you knock somebody, the game is over, right, in this particular match. Whereas Lancer has a Life Drain, and Tracker Rounds to some effect isn't going to be super useful. And then Helping Hands, you can go ahead and take that one out as well. So with the remaining things that we have here, Berserker, Evade, both are good, right? It allows Ronin this ability to be able to run and gun. Berserker and Evade go very well together, right? If Lancer's taking shots at her and she does manage to hit Ronin, Ronin will be able to get that speed boost. She'll be able to reload while running and maybe reposition, start that fight over again. Whereas Lancer does have this Padded Step and Shredder Rounds, which means that she's going to be able to move silently as long as she's jogging outside of her quick and quiet ability. And she'll also be able to hold more ammunition. Now, being able to deal more damage to equipment isn't really going to help that much, because you can pretty much one-shot the ballistic knife, but it is good to keep in mind that she does have that extra ammo. So in a gunfight, she will be able to, let's assume that it's just a prolonged gunfight, she will have the advantage in that sense that she has more ammo. Now, as we look at Tenacity and Nimble Hands over on Ronin, the Tenacity might come in handy if Lancer is using her actual Semtex grenade. You know, we kind of put that one as a wash, but in case she does use that, she does manage to hit Ronin, at least Ronin will have the ability to suck up a lot of that damage, so it won't one-shot her like it would do people without Tenacity. And then in these gunfights, she has the ability to swap guns faster and also get that reload faster, which is a nice little advantage for her. Lancer, on the other hand, has this Stalker. We went ahead and we cut out Helping Hand because it's no use, right? So she has Stalker, which means that she'll be able to aim down sight while she is moving as well, which does give a slight advantage there, right? Being able to kind of hard scope. Now, if she had different weapons, it might be a bigger advantage, because I don't know, it doesn't really help as much with the SMG and the shotgun, you know. It's a little better with an AR, definitely better with the sniper. So we'll call that right there. And then Ronin has a big advantage here with Sixth Sense. In a 1v1 fight, Sixth Sense is very, very good because it allows you to know when somebody sees you and when somebody is ready to attack you, right? Whereas Lancer doesn't have that same type of benefit. She has no way of knowing when she is spotted or when people know that she is there, which is one of the criticisms that I had of her early on. It's good that she's able to flank, but she's one of the few like flanks that doesn't actually have a way to know where people are or if they actually know that she's coming. So based off the perks that these women have here, I'm going to say that more often than not, I think Ronin comes out on top in this fight. Lancer does have some good skills, some good abilities, and I believe that the fight will probably be close. But Quick and Quiet doesn't last long enough for her to probably actually be able to pinpoint and find Ronin, assuming that they drop in some random spot on the map, right? And secondly, I think Ronin has a few more tricks up her sleeve as far as like utility wise, the ballistic knife, just evasion, berserker, tenacity, being able to actually get away from Lancer if they do manage to get into a gunfight, if they do manage to, you know, come across each other. And she also will be able to know when Lancer sees her, right? So she actually has that time to react, get behind cover, anything like that. Whereas by some unfortunate event, if Ronin ends up finding Lancer first, Lancer's just gonna have to eat some shots before she even knows that she's being tailed. So even though I think this will be close, I'm gonna have to say the winner in this 1v1 would more times than not be Ronin. Now, I know there's going to be some people that disagree, and I'm completely okay with that. Just make sure you put your rationale down in the comment section and be respectful, because remember, this is just a video game. Some people be wilding in the comments. But yeah, so make sure to put that down there. Also, people, if there's anybody that you would like to see or any pairing you would like to see, let me know, because I know some of y'all put in a lot of hours with these characters. There's some characters that you would like to see analyzed and you'd like to give your thoughts on, so do it for sure. I'm trying to think of somebody to put against Saint, because he's an interesting one, and I want to do one with Vi, and I think next I'm going to do Dima and somebody, or Dima and somebody. So maybe Dima and Anvil or Dima and Chak. I'm not sure yet, but we'll see. Let me know what you guys think. As always, people, thank you for watching. Make sure to drop a like for you boy. Subscribe today to become a member of the Ors Force, and we'll be posting another video tomorrow. Thank you for watching. Peace, 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 peace.